What if I told you that the government once tried to convince citizens that smoking was healthy, or that they secretly dosed people with LSD without their knowledge? You'd probably think I was wearing a tinfoil hat, right? Well, buckle up, because today, we're re-diving into conspiracy theories that sounded absolutely insane when people first heard them but turned out to be 100% true. Look, we've all heard wild conspiracy theories that make us roll our eyes, but here's the thing that will keep you up at night. Some of the craziest ones in history were UN theories at all. They were reality. Today I'm sharing 7 documented conspiracies that were so unbelievable, people who spoke about them were called crazy until classified documents, whistleblowers, and investigations proved them right. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll question everything. Part 1. MK. Let's start with something that sounds like science fiction. The CIA secretly drugging Americans to control their minds. In the 1950s, if you told someone the government was giving people LSD without their knowledge to see if they could create mind-controlled assassins, you'd be laughed out of the room. People thought this was pure paranoia. But in 1975, congressional investigations revealed the truth. MKUltra was real. From 1953 to 1973, the CIA conducted over 150 illegal experiments on unwitting subjects. They dosed mental patients, prisoners, and even their own employees with psychedelic drugs. The most shocking part, they destroyed most of the records in 1973 when they realized they were about to get caught. One victim, Frank Olson, was secretly given LSD and died after falling from a hotel window. His family fought for decades to prove it wasn't suicide. Think about this. How many people called Frank's family crazy conspiracy theorists until the documents proved them right? Part 2. Operation Northwoods. Here's one that'll make your blood run cold. The US military planned to attack American citizens and blame it on Cuba to justify war. In 1962, if someone claimed the Pentagon had detailed plans to bomb Miami, sink boats full of Cuban refugees, and stage terrorist attacks on American soil all to frame Cuba, they'd be called unpatriotic conspiracy nuts. But the documents are real. Operation Northwoods was a legitimate military proposal that reached the highest levels of government. The Joint Chiefs of Staff actually signed off on plans that included bombing US military bases, sinking ships full of innocent refugees, and creating fake evidence of Cuban involvement. President Kennedy rejected it, but the fact that military leaders seriously proposed murdering American citizens as a war strategy that actually happened. Comment below. Did you know about Operation Northwoods before this video? Part 3. Big Tobacco Cover-Up. Now let's talk about one that killed millions. Tobacco companies knew cigarettes caused cancer for decades and covered it up. For years, people who claimed Big Tobacco was lying about cigarettes being safe were dismissed as anti-business conspiracy theorists. The companies had scientists, doctors, and celebrity endorsements all saying cigarettes were harmless, even healthy. But in 1994, leaked internal documents revealed the truth. Tobacco executives had known since the 1950s that cigarettes were deadly. They had their own research proving it caused cancer, but they spent $50 million a year suppressing the evidence. Internal memos literally called their customers young starters and discussed how to get children addicted before age 18. The most chilling document, a 1969 memo that said, "We are in the business of selling nicotine, an addictive drug." Think about this. How many people died because whistleblowers were dismissed as conspiracy theorists? Part 4. Here. S1 that targeted American heroes. The FBI was illegally spying on and sabotaging civil rights leaders, including Martin Luther King Jr. In the 1960s, civil rights activists who claimed the FBI is watching us, tapping our phones, and trying to destroy our movement sounded paranoid. People thought they were making excuses for their struggles. But in 1971, activists broke into an FBI office and stole documents that exposed COINTELPRO, a massive illegal surveillance program targeting Americans exercising their constitutional rights. The FBI didn't just watch people, they planted fake evidence, sent anonymous letters trying to break up marriages, and literally tried to convince Martin Luther King Jr. to commit suicide. J. Edgar Hoover, the FBI director, had files on over 500,000 Americans. No warrants, no oversight, just pure government surveillance of innocent citizens. Sound familiar? Wait until you hear about the NSA Part 6, NSA Mass Surveillance. Speaking of surveillance, the government is reading all your emails, listening to your calls, and tracking your location. Before 2013, people who claimed the NSA is spying on every American were called paranoid conspiracy theorists. Tech companies and government officials swore they weren't collecting data on law-abiding citizens. Then Edward Snowden leaked classified documents proving the NSA was doing exactly that. They weren't just targeting terrorists, they were collecting data on everyone. 5 billion cell phone records collected daily, internet communications from 9 major tech companies, and location data from every smartphone in America. The craziest part, this program was so secret that most members of Congress didn't even know it existed. But wait, it gets worse. They were also spying on world leaders, including allies like German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Part 7, Operation Mockingbird. Here is one that LL make you question every news story. The CIA was secretly controlling American media outlets. For decades, people who claimed the CIA is placing stories in newspapers and controlling what journalists report sounded like they de-watched too many spy movies. But congressional investigations in the 1970s revealed Operation Mockingbird was real. The CIA had over 400 journalists on their payroll, relationships with major news organizations, and the ability to plant or suppress stories nationwide. CIA Director William Casey once said, "We all know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believes is false." Today, with social media and 24/7 news cycles, imagine how much easier this would be to pull off. Which news sources do you trust? Comment your thoughts below. Part 8. Conclusion. So here's what keeps me up at night. If all of these crazy conspiracy theories turned out to be true, what conspiracy theories of today are actually reality? Every single one of these cases had the same pattern. Whistleblowers were dismissed as crazy. Officials denied everything, evidence was hidden or destroyed, and years later, documents proved the conspiracy theorists were right. The lesson isn't to believe every conspiracy theory you hear, but maybe, just maybe, we should listen a little more carefully to people asking uncomfortable questions. Because history shows us that sometimes the most unbelievable stories are the most true. Which one of these shocked you the most? Drop a comment and let me know if you knew about any of these before watching. If this video opened your eyes, smash that like button. If we hit 15,000 likes, I'll make a part 2 covering conspiracy theories that might be true right now. Don't forget to subscribe because we read diving deeper into the stories they want you to know. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.